Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. It's such a blessing to be here with you. I want to thank, before we get started, I'd like to thank Julian and the Caravan of Unity for having me at this hour, and I'd like to thank all of my sisters from my medicine woman training that are joining us here today, and huge thanks and gratitude to my amazing teacher, Mary Michelle of the Sacred Female Rising Institute. I'm so grateful for everything that it's given me to get to make the journey with Sacred Female Rising and with all of my sisters. So for the inspiration to join the Caravan of Unity for this presentation is to go with you on a little journey, meditation of our bodies, so that we can come into connection a little bit more with what is happening underneath the surface of our normal interaction, and what's happening underneath the surface of our normal busy perception, and even to see what lies underneath the busyness of our normal nervous system function. So I'm gonna have my eyes closed, which is not that exciting to look at, so you're also invited to close your eyes for this time. And the purpose of this is not only does it put us into connection with our inner landscape and inner universe, it also temporarily takes us out of our setting of consuming, which we're so used to in this day and age. So I invite you to close your eyes here and to simply notice how you are. And however you find yourself in this moment, to simply stay here with yourself as you are. To simply allow your body to breathe as it's breathing, and to allow yourself to feel whatever happens to be here for you in this moment. And to simply allow your body to continue to breathe as it's breathing. So this is a little bit of time for you, not for who you think you are or who you think you should be, but the one that lives here in this body in every moment. The one that maybe has needs, maybe has wisdom, maybe has a voice that we don't always stop to acknowledge. So before we can begin to take in information, before we can begin to strive and look for meaning or connection or satisfaction or some kind of gratification as humans. It helps if we first stop and listen to who we actually are. And it's not a concept necessarily that we can put words to. Yeah. It's who is here when we choose to stay present with ourselves in this moment and in the next moment and in the next moment. As we stay here with ourselves, it might be that it's not a very eventful occasion. Yeah, it mightn't be very exciting or entertaining necessarily in every moment. And because we're used to constantly look for entertainment, activity, distraction, yeah. It takes maybe another breath again here. To make a resolve to ourselves to just be present with this body and with who it is that we seem to know that occupies this body. To allow the body to take another breath here. Letting the jaws and the root of the tongue relax. Feel like the tongue, the muscle, the tissue that is the tongue can release all the way into the belly. allowing your attention, your awareness to be in the solar plexus. Allowing your body to breathe as it needs to breathe. Simply staying present with how your body is feeling here. No pushing, no holding back, no needing to get to anywhere else. Your body might be breathing a little bit more or a little bit less than it normally does, just letting that be so. In the solar plexus, the third chakra, the place of embodied soul power, and also the place that mentally negotiates our identity. When we come to visit this place, there can be a little bit of apprehension. For some of you, you'll feel there's like fluttering in the solar plexus, a little bit of anxiety, and we simply keep staying present here. Yeah, allow the tongue to relax again. You're choosing to be present in your own body is a very powerful form of energy medicine. Yeah. The choosing to not continue to act upon reactionary impulses that are in our mind-body programming. Yeah, when we hit upon uncomfortable feelings, normally we jump out of ourselves, our mind starts getting busy, we get active with some sort of having to look at something, having to come up with another idea, having to create yet another project or make food or whatever it is we do. Yeah. So this time here together is simply a chance for you to be with yourself. We have so much information accessible to us and to our intellects in every moment of every day these days. Yeah, that we almost forget to listen to the inner wisdom that is actually alive and well in our bodies. You stay with your breath. Just feel the weight of your body supported by the ground beneath you. Just feel the weight of your body in your lovely bottom. Inviting the abdomen, all of the internal organs to relax a little bit more deeply. Yeah, just staying with the touch that the movement of the breath is causing in your body. Releasing the tongue again, releasing the jaws. Allowing your body to breathe freely so that however your body knows how to be here is allowed. So much energy we use up trying to put things right. Yeah. Trying to fix things that are actually already right. Yeah. If only we allow ourselves to receive that rightness. Yeah. So as we're sitting here all in, some of you are together, which is nice. And as we're sitting here in this field, of course, we can connect across the planet, whether we're in the same physical space or not. And if we've met each other in real life, our bodies have a memory of our friends' resonance. Yeah. But here is the important thing that is kind of being brought to my attention for today's sharing with you here is that of connection. And whilst we're able to connect in these ways, in Zoom rooms and in meditation and in consciousness, which is a wonderful, wonderful thing. My body is also wanting to share with you the importance of, and you all know this, I know you all know this, the importance of connection with nature and also the importance of connection with our fellow human beings in real life. And the parts of that is really coming very strongly to me in these last few weeks, especially, is a communication. It's a connection through communication that happens on a level beyond what we can perceive with our minds, yeah, and on a level that we barely perceive through reason. It's a communication and connection and exchange of, we can call it files, yeah, file exchange of body wisdom that each of our souls have carried through the eons of time. That happens when we meet in person. And this wisdom, this connection takes place through our senses, yeah, through the range of senses that we share with animals, but that our human perception is not always capable of perceiving, because it comes in finer vibration. Yeah, so it might be in the form of, I think the word is pheromones, or smell, yeah. Literally scent excretions from the glands in our bodies through our skin, yeah, that we unconsciously pick up from each other. It's also an exchange of particles that leave our body with our breath and that enter our body with our breath, that allows each of our microbiomes to be connected to the whole picture. In ways that it's difficult for the logical human mind that just wants control and reason to rule the day, because it's somehow more familiar. Yeah. Allow your body to take a deep breath here. Another deep breath. As your body is breathing here, as it needs to breathe. Maybe it's just a deep resting. Just feeling the feeling in your face, feeling the skin of your face, feeling the muscles in your face that are unconsciously participating in presenting the face of you to the world. Just allowing yourself to see and feel who that is. Releasing the tongue, releasing the jaws, allowing the front of the throat to soften, allowing yourself to feel the whole front of your body, the skin of the front of your body, of the torso. Who is it that lives here? If your body changes its breathing, just allowing that to happen. So as you're here with yourself, there's no need to control how energy moves in your body. You can let the mouth open a little bit and let the next few breaths be in and out through the mouth. Just however your body is breathing. Just giving your body permission to have its own breath. Maybe there is more energy available to you than what your ordinary operating system does on a daily basis. Maybe there's a level of body wisdom, body intelligence that is accessible to each of us in every moment. Should we actually choose to take the time to stop and connect with ourselves? So there's no special state that we're attempting to achieve here in this moment, in this particular work. Yeah. It's simply meeting ourselves as we are, and possibly also it might be that we come across some of the strategies that we've invented subconsciously for ourselves to justify to ourselves why it's important to stay disconnected. Yeah, we might have any number of reasons why we can't be here with ourselves. Yeah. Usually, mostly, we find that what keeps us as individuals and as a humanity running, constantly running away from this moment is that there is, when we stop, we risk feeling, we risk feeling maybe there is unresolved pain, maybe there is unresolved grief, maybe there is anxiety and fear that is simply a symptom of the times that we're living in. So whatever it is that you encounter when you take the time, either here or with yourself at other times, rather than beating yourself up for not feeling fantastic all the time, rather than thinking that you have to fix this, somehow. Maybe it's okay to just meet what is here. And let that be enough for this moment. So it's almost like exercising a muscle, this choosing to stay with ourselves and in that becoming more and more familiar with who it is that lives here in this body, becoming more and more familiar with not having to look for gratification or validation or distraction from outside of ourselves. When we practice being here with ourselves and taking a certain level of responsibility for both the tough stuff that is tough to meet here, and also taking responsibility for the amount of power and vitality that is actually available to us here. When that becomes more familiar, then we don't need others to change who they are in order for us to feel safe. And so this space is simply an offering for us to receive the vital energy that we are, that created our body in the first place, this intelligence that, wow, that breathes our bodies, beats our hearts, regenerates our cells. This living moment to moment creation of this human body and mind that we actually have no idea even how it happens. So merely to have a little bit of space to get to be with ourselves in this way. That was really the intention of this time together. So you can take a few deeper breaths here when you're ready. And you can take another few deep breaths here when you're ready. I know it's nice in there. Yeah, just having a sense of the weight of your body in your hips, in your bottom, feeling your legs. Another couple of deep breaths here, and then when you're ready, of course, you can open your eyes. Maybe your body wants a little stretch. So you're very welcome if there's anything in particular that if you want to share, if there was anything in particular that you encountered along the way. It's not a I don't have answers to your questions. Yeah. Any wisdom that you'd like to share from our time together, you're welcome. Oh, unstable internet connection. Am I back? Can you hear me? Yeah, cool. Yeah, let's just take a couple of breaths here. Anybody wants to share anything?
I'd like to share, if possible.
Thank you, Sandy.
Do you hear any background noise, or is it okay?
It's okay, it's just a tiny bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. I feel very much at peace and very at peace with my inner world. And today has been, I wanted to be with myself and just on a normal day, but I've been trying to get all the way out, and the construction and everything has been really pulling me out of myself. So to be in with your guidance and to be with all the voices and all the noise still and really go inside feels really good. I can I don't know if it's because of the light coming in this room, but all the light was so serene and almost going into shapes, and just being with the breath and everything, just breathing, just so in so much peace, just completely surrender. It felt so good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sandy, for sharing. Thank you. Anybody else? So, yeah, thank you for being with me. It's really, I think for me in the work that I do, I teach something called, I call it subtle body anatomy and energy medicine. And we work with the body, we work with meditation, we work with the breath. But the journey for me has really been one of, because I started out teaching yoga, thinking that what I had learned and what I knew was what other people also needed to learn. Yeah. So it's supposed to be like this is how you do this thing. This is A, B, and C of how to get to there. Yeah. That was my Western way of having learned and also of teaching. And then along the way, as I encountered, really as my body brought me into places that I wouldn't have chosen to go to for pleasure, just going through like pain and surgery and illness and all sorts of things. I tend to say that I wouldn't wish upon anyone having to go through that level of trauma, but actually, of course, it was the greatest gift that I could ever have been given, because it really humbled me to appreciate and listen for what was being given in each moment, instead of this continuous, and I'm not saying that I'm there all the time still, but this continuous, like looking for something and trying to satisfy the sense of lack and disconnection is just given me a little bit of humility to appreciate what I'm being given, and also a greater listening in the teaching for the wisdom that all of the bodies that I encounter in the teaching, not to assume that I know what's going on for them, but to listen for what they already know. So in this way, we can connect with each other and communicate and celebrate each other. So I thank you for being with me.
Can I say something?
Yes, please, Anke.
Thank you for this meditation. I think it's so important to do this work. I spent my last 2 weeks in Switzerland, and we make something like this meditation, and I made it for 3 years now, and this was the first time I felt my sense deep, and it's for me a very important thing to can this now, because yes, it was a time before I had a pain if I go deeper and deeper, and it was a way to come now and feel this wide essential part in me. And yes, that I would say very, very good work and so important. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my sweet sister. Thank you, all of you. I feel your hearts moving, whatever they're moving in their brave infinite wisdom. Yeah. Thank you, sisters. Thank you, teacher. Thank you, Caravan of Unity.